welcome back to an episode of Kate and Isaiah Living Large. I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Kate.
And on this episode, we're going to talk about our reset and our trying to get ready for the rest of the year into next year and all the fun things we're hoping to be able to try and accomplish.
And the rest of our lives.
And the rest of our lives. So before we get started, what's up? What's new? What's the haps? Anything good?
Yeah, totally. Still lots of comedy, lots of music. Big music show June 13th, which I probably should have mentioned on the last show. Oh, well. All the St. Mary's band family groups got together and did a show at Harborview on Thursday, June 13th, which was really fun. I don't know why you mentioned the date a second time because you can't come.
Because it's already passed.
So there's lots of fun music events this summer, singing, playing trombone, and also lots of comedy. You're feeling pretty good. How about you?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm almost to my my summer 3-day long weekends. Nice. This year I took every Monday off for July and August.
It's incredible.
So
every Monday, that's a bold choice.
Well, so as we were talking prior to actually recording, because Whip, our friend Colin, who was on the podcast, his store's opened up over on the west side on Ludlow Street, and he is doing Tuesday through Saturday, and my lovely wife is running the store, and so she'll have Mondays off. So I was like, well, I'll just take Mondays, and that way we can do things together.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. That's very considerate.
I was going to take Fridays, but
yeah, I mean, that would have been the obvious choice, but this actually makes so much more sense.
Yes. So yeah, with that, it actually kind of leads me into my hope and plans for at least the summer is I think we're going to try and do some hiking trails this summer.
Oh, that's so exciting.
In line with what Andrea is doing and Colin is running. I think we're going to try and do some trails this summer.
That's amazing. And what better resource than the guy who walked the Appalachian Trail?
I know, right? So that's kind of the plan. Hopefully we can hit some trails, do some nice hikes. Hopefully I don't destroy my knees.
Well, one step at a time, as they say, and listen to your body.
Yes. But that's kind of my initial plan for this summer. I might sign up we talked about this last year. The thing where you get the medals for doing the walks. I might sign up for one of those.
I signed up for those and paid for it and never did it.
No. I might sign up. They have a Star Wars one, and I don't know if you're watching on YouTube, you might notice there's a lot of Star Wars in my office. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, so it kind of makes me want to do the thing.
Well, you know what? Anything that gets you moving works. It turns out wasn't a motivator for me. I wanted to walk the Cabot Trail. And that's the one that I signed up for and started to walk, and was like, I'd forget to log it if I was doing some physical activity, or I just didn't care enough to do it. The money was already gone. Didn't think about it again. And I didn't think about it again until right now when you mentioned it.
Yeah, the logging, it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if it ties into an app or something that I can use.
It does. It totally has an app. And if you had a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or something like that, it's really easy because your watch does it for you.
Okay.
I had to do it to manually do it because a lot of the workouts at the time that I was doing
didn't have your phone.
Didn't have my phone on me. And so it was like, I worked out for 45 minutes and a HIIT workout. And it was like, but I mean, making it sound like a bigger deal than it is. I'm just bad at that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, well, if you have to pull it out and it's a lot of work. Counting calories. That's why I had to struggle with it, because it's I have to actually pull the app up and I have to think about it. And if I could just push a button, it would do the thing for me. Be perfect. Someone come up with an app that I can just scan a photo of what I'm eating and it'll figure out the calories for me.
Well, in truth, a lot of the apps you can scan a photo of the barcode and it'll do that for you.
Well, yeah, but what if I make my own?
I know. I just, even that, I have this thing where I don't want to be food obsessed. It's just, I don't want to be obsessive with it. I don't want to care about food in the way that it makes me fat. I also don't want to care about food so much as it's making me thin. I just want to be able to, well, it's like our freaking thing we always say, eat
Eat, live, move.
And I'd like to, and I know that's not how this works. And I know people will say like, you have to monitor, you have to do it. And I get it. And I get it.
It's harder than it sounds.
I hate it.
Yes.
And I just don't want to be obsessed with it. I grew up being obsessed with it, and I don't want that. I just want to eat when I'm hungry.
I think that's partially why meal planners do well. I think like something like what Courtney does, right? She has this whole thing where she plans out your meal and whatever. Or at least like gives you a list of the things you should be eating. I think I would do well like something like that, or even like they have like Factors, like a company that does like pre-made meals and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that kind of thing does work well for me, but it's one of those things like how sustainable is it?
Yeah.
And that's where I think that I need to improve is my meal planning through the week, because let's face it, my weeks are busy. If I'm not planned on the weekend, I'm not doing it.
True. But outside of that, what do you plan to do this year? Do you have any plans to try and maybe get that 5K under us next year?
Yeah. So one of the things I did do in the last week after the 5K and realizing where I'm at, because there is an important component of our eat, live, move mantra that I'm not meeting right now. I'm struggling to move. And so I'm not having a good time and I'm not feeling good about it. So something's got to give, something's got to change. Like I can't keep going the way I'm going because it's going to end poorly for me. And I feel terrible. No two ways about it. I didn't talk about this in the last episode, but when I couldn't walk during that 5K, it was everything I had to not break down and cry, because I felt really ashamed that I had let it get so bad again.
I could tell.
Yeah. And I just didn't feel good. And I am exhausted, and that's probably why I slept. But I think part of that's a little bit of depression seeping in too. And I've really and I'm a very action oriented person. So I recognize that in myself. And one of the things I did do is I was like, you know what? My schedule is a little bit too hairy. So I actually made a decision to quit one thing.
What?
Yep. And it took a lot of time and energy and thought. I currently am playing in 3 bands and singing in a choir and all the comedy stuff. And then I'm on the police commission as well. Anyway, I dropped one of the bands. I did. And it is the Second Chance band, which is the first band that I joined in the St. Mary's band family. And it was a hard one to leave because it was on a Monday night and it seemed like it was working really well. And it's a fun band to play in, but ultimately I don't need to play in 3 bands. And it's the most junior of the bands that I play in. And I made the decision. And when I told Andrea, who's a very dear friend, and she was like, yeah, that makes total sense. Like, I don't know how you're living your life right now. So totally fine. So with that, I'm going to free up some Monday nights.
Okay.
And I think Monday night is a great night for meal prep.
There you go.
And so I think I'm going to build that in as part of my schedule. Now, there are some comedy things like once or twice a month on Mondays that I'm really excited to participate in.
But that's once or twice a month.
That's once or twice. That's not Monday. the daily thing. And so, I like having a little bit of freedom on my weekends, and I do have some scheduled stuff. Like we usually record this podcast on weekends, and I usually have a choir on weekends, but ultimately I try to keep my weekends relatively fluid, one for comedy purposes, one for just like living life, resting, relaxing, seeing friends, that kind of thing, seeing family. But I feel like Monday night is a great night to sneak into the grocery store because all the weekend warriors already did the weekend run. And so if I meal prep on Mondays, that gives me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, lunches prepared, breakfast planned, and maybe even supper plans if I'm really ambitious. And I think that'll be a great start to doing more. And I feel like once I start eating better and take off a little bit of weight, the movement portion will come a little easier, because it's no joke to move large amounts of weight around. Just like think about carrying, like, if you know, what is it, 50-pound bag of potatoes?
Sure.
Like, I had a really mean doctor say this to me in a really mean way one time, but like, think about carrying 4 potato sacks around. It's like 200 pounds. And I recognize that's what I'm carrying extra.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Especially on your knees, on your back, and like your body. It's just hard on your body.
And so I'm going to keep trying to do little walks like I have been, and as much as I can, and not beat myself up when they're hard.
Yeah.
But like, a little bit will go a long way, I think. And at some point, I'm going to need to find a way to get some sort of routine. But right now, this is what I'm able to commit to. I'm taking steps, and steps are important.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Man, I was long-winded there.
No, you're good. No, exactly. At least any little thing to like try and improve, right? Yeah. I need to get back and do actual meal prepping rather than just my rice and chicken every day. Courtney gave us that lovely ebook. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it.
I haven't yet, but I will, because she was. I just loved her.
There's some great stuff in there. There's some really good, like was overnight oats or something like that. The recipes that I'm like, I would eat that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a look through that and try and meal prep around that a little bit. That's kind of, I need to start doing more than just chicken and rice. That's for sure. Well,
and your body gets used to one thing and it will adapt to it. And if you mix it up, even if it's the same amount of I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel even if it's the same amount of calories, but it's a different thing, your body will be like, whoa, that was different.
Or at least, enjoyability. Yeah. I really want to, and I won't get it until later because I've got plans for August. I really want to try and save some money up and get one of those desk treadmills.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Because I sit around this office all day, every day, and I figure I could probably get some walk-in if I had one of those treadmills around.
Yeah.
But if anyone has one, I would be happy to hear what your thoughts are on them, and which one you went with and why, or which one you went with and why I shouldn't go with that one.
Right.
But I've been looking into those lately. I think those are interesting. Kind of to do something while I'm working. I spend a lot of time in this office on calls where I could be doing a little bit of exercise.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's a great idea. I've thought about doing like some sort of activity in my cubicle at work.
Yeah.
Because I'm there, but then I'm like, oh, it's so weird when people are walking by. My desk is right next to the printer too, so like, if I was there doing like yoga or something, I'd be like, what are you doing?
I used to do like 10-pound weights here, just lifting weights, but like that's not quite.
10-pound weight does almost nothing for you, doesn't it? You're a pretty strong guy.
It's exercise-ish, but it didn't really.
It's movement, but it's like 10-pound weight does almost nothing for me.
Yeah. So it was not really a whole lot.
I mean, it's better than nothing.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. It's better than nothing, but unless you're just doing like flies or something.
Yeah.
Like 10
I think I really would like to get one of those treadmills, the floor treadmills that just little tiny space, not like one of those big ones, but just a small desk one.
I wonder, because they're the ones with no arm holder, right?
No holder or anything. Yeah.
They scare me. Want to hear a funny story?
Yes. Obviously, the internet wants to hear a funny story.
So years ago, when I was living in Woodstock, I was going to the gym every morning. I was on one of my gym things, tangents, whatever.
Sure.
Gym readiness. I don't know. I don't know why I can't know words. Anyway, I was on the treadmill, and my roommate of the day, her name was Ellen. She's a great girl. She's a nurse now, lives in Woodstock. Super nice girl. And she's a few years younger than me. And she was a really attractive girl, like blonde, slim, really a beautiful, beautiful girl. And we're on the treadmill and we're having a great chat, and I'm talking away and she's talking away, and it's early in the morning and we're having a great old time. And I misstepped, and these treadmills are up on like a platform. and my foot hit the side of the treadmill and I went boom, right off,
Oh,
right down to the
no.
ground, like just flattened myself. And I was like, and I could hear Ellen stifling her laughter going, are you okay?
Oh no.
It was just like down for the count. There was a judge in the room too, who I knew because I worked at the newspaper, and he was like, are you all right?
Oh no.
Fine.
I've watched videos of people flying off treadmills. They are kind of funny.
They're hilarious. Me being on a treadmill without something to hold on to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not running, I'm walking.
That's. I'm sure you can. You know, you are much more graceful than I am.
I don't call what I do graceful, that's for sure.
I didn't say you were graceful. I said you were more graceful than I am.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay.
Which is saying very little.
But yeah, I mean, I think I want to get one of those. They're kind of expensive though, so
I wonder, like, if anybody has any that are just kicking around their house that they want to get rid of, that they want to offload for cheap.
I mean, maybe.
This is the new Facebook marketplace.
Yes.
This is the podcast.
Post your
Buy
things for
and
sale.
If anybody has a dishwasher, that countertop dishwasher that isn't working for them, I'd happily take that off your hands.
But I think that, and then the summer getting out to trails and stuff. I really want to do that. I want to hit a bunch of trails. Although I'm not an outdoorsy person, which is kind of crazy, but yeah. Don't like bugs.
I hate bugs. They're evil.
Yes. And so I always have trouble with bugs, especially flies. Flies annoy the hell out of me.
Saw a cute picture of you and Andrea with your kitten Milk out on a hike.
Oh yes. Yes, we try and take our cat for hikes. She likes hikes when we're away from the city, but does not like hikes in the city.
They're not hikes in the city.
Okay, walks in the city. Whatever. Hikes are the walk, right? What's the difference?
Nature.
In nature? Like, okay.
Yeah. That's the difference.
The city is a type of nature. It's called urban nature. I'm making that up, people. Urban nature.
Yeah, we know you're making that up.
I'm putting it on Wikipedia.
Boulder Dash.
I'm putting it on Wikipedia. It's gonna be a thing.
Urban nature.
This
is the urban landscape that we live in.
Well, they call it urban exploring. I mean, what's...
Yeah, because you can explore anything because you're searching. You
Well,
can search anywhere.
Hike anywhere.
There's nature.
There's nature in the city.
In this city, a little bit. You could go to
In
Rockwood
other
Park.
cities.
We could negotiate this and you could just go to Rockwood Park.
Well, we did that too. We did, actually, that was where we did last week. We did Rockwood Park.
I used to go camping in Rockwood Park when I was a teenager.
So weird.
And I'll never forget my friend Jen. We went a couple times this one summer when we were about 19. And every time, at least 3 times while we were there, feels like you're not even in the city.
I don't get camping at Rockwood Park.
Well, it just feels like you're not even in the city. It's like camping anywhere.
No.
But you can run home and shower.
You are too close together. It is basically just a space that they've put rock down. It's not my experience of camping at any other campground.
There are tent campsites that are not like that.
Well, all I ever see is the
camper one.
The trailer one.
That's what all trailer campsites are like, so people can park their big rigs.
Have you ever been to like Mac to Quack or the Fun Day National?
Yeah.
They don't have that. There's ones that aren't like that.
Right,
places.
but there are lots of ones like that, so that like they can have the hookups and all that.
Yeah,
but then they're at Rockwood. There are like tenting sites too that are more like what you're talking about.
All right. I mean, it just never made sense to me. I like Mac to Quack. Mac to Quack's a great place to go camping.
I don't like camping.
I don't like camp. I like glamping. Sorry, let me rephrase it. I like glamping. I do need to have my electricity. And I'm not a huge fan of sleeping in a tent because I cannot get up.
I've been thinking about getting like a foam mattress for the back of my vehicle because I have a big vehicle now. Yep. And so when I go to trips and stuff this summer, I can like car camp.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been thinking about it, and I like looked up on the YouTubes how people have converted Highlanders into these sorts of things before, and like It's as simple as blowing up like an air mattress because the seats all fold down. I just don't know how you stay like cool. I have to sleep with the doors open, windows open, and then so many bugs. I don't know.
You get one of those like mesh things for your window, right?
Oh yeah.
And then you could have the windows down and the mesh still to keep the bugs out.
Yeah. Anyway, if anybody has any feedback on that.
Lots of adventure. That's the name of the summer, adventure.
And I was mostly thinking as for utilitarian purposes, like
so
when I go to Dooryard Arts Festival,
so you don't have to like rent a hotel or
or stay on a friend's lot.
There you go.
Use their bathroom.
Yeah.
But like stay in my own car, so I'm not taking up bed space.
Fair enough. That sounds great. I would do that.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind sleeping off the ground because they can get up and whatever.
Yeah.
It's being on the ground. I can't do.
Well, it's the rolling over and hoisting yourself up. That is like,
exactly.
Anytime that I'm down on the ground, I'm like, oh boy.
Yes.
What do I do now?
That's why I'm not a big fan of beaches.
And I can get up, but it's a whole production.
It is a whole roly-poly production. And
it's like, I don't need that attention drawn to me.
My God,
especially on a beach when I'm like in a bathing suit.
Right.
Ew.
Yeah. That's why when we go to beaches, I stand the whole time and Andrea hates it. She's the weirdest thing. And I'm like, I'm going to sit down. My back's going to hurt. I'm going to be all awkward. And then I'm going to have to try and stand up in this. And no.
Yeah, I can't stand the whole time because my knees hurt too badly to do that.
Yeah. I usually go find like a rock or something to sit on.
Yes, that is also my method. Or I'll like scout the beach for a rock and be like, how about we prop here?
Yes.
Or I just lump it. Or I like to go to beaches that are very unpopulated and then I can roly-poly all over the place.
Yeah.
I also hate being sandy.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not a big outdoor person either.
You are an urban nature person. I don't know why you're against my urban nature.
Well, I just don't want to pretend something it's not.
It's urban nature.
It's not urban nature.
But I think we've rambled.
This is your urban nature to be a liar.
Listen. I think
that was really too far.
Listen, we're going to end that here.
Podcast's over forever.
But we've rambled long enough. I think it is time to close this.
We could probably cut that anytime.
Nope, not cutting it.
Yeah, I think you probably could.
No. But yeah, I think we've rambled long enough. Where can people find you on the internet?
People who are not going to accuse me of being a terrible person can find me on the internet at Fat Caitlin on TikTok. We're also on TikTok at Kate and Isaiah Living Large. Yeah.
You just said Tic Tac.
TikTok.
On TikTok. Yeah, we are on TikTok. Kate and Isaiah Living Large. Yes.
And Caitlin Dean on Facebook. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, carry on.
At Maritime Brews on all the social medias. Kate and Isaiah Living Large on Facebook. And
you can donate
with the Buy Me a Coffee. This is the donate. Yeah, okay. And donate at the Buy Me a Coffee so we can work on getting a new camera. But until next week, bye.
Bye.